and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the winners edition. Yes, that means Manchester United won FA Cup. I'm your host, Tosin. I'm alongside with my co-host, Tomi. How you doing, my brother?
It's a beautiful day to be a United fan.
Absolutely.
Beautiful day. Show them.
Listen, I got nothing but love for Marcus Rashford. Before we start, I want to get into the fact that after, the way he cried after the game, and a lot of people thinking he's going to leave the club. Let's say this much, right? Marcus Rashford is, 26
He's 26.
now?
He's
He's
my
26.
age. Yeah.
Okay, he's 26 years old, right? So for 19 years of Marcus Rashford's 26 years of his life, going on 27 years of his life, he spent that time at Manchester United Football Club. He's a fan of the club. He's one of 9 players to have 400 plus appearances for the club. And you think this boy wants to leave Old Trafford?
Like people are telling me, him crying after the match, it means a farewell. He's off to PSG. He's off to Arsenal. Those are tears of joy. That's a man who endured the season from hell, from fans and media calling him out, and he leave winning the biggest outside the league, the biggest trophy in England. That guy is staying.
I don't want to tell Arsenal fans this. It's like Saka leaving to come to United or something like that. Like, I understand Van Persie leaving because Van Persie has no like blood ties. That's not whatever. But it's like Saka literally leaving to come to United. It's it might happen, but it's not one of those things where like you see happening because these are boys that grew up in this club, like Scott McTominay's, the Johnny Evans, and people like these are boys who grew up at United who are United fans. So I'm very happy that United did what they did today. And let's get into the game. Tommy, you tell me what you saw and like how you felt about what you saw during those 90 minutes.
It was first of all, I'll give credit to Ten Hag because as the way he played is how we've been playing for like the last couple weeks of the season. He brought in Amrabat, who's more mobile than Casemiro, and like I would say a better 6 right now. Like Casemiro, career clears him, but right now he's a better 6. So he brought him there to cover that gap and cover that area in the midfield, and which is how we've been playing for the last couple of weeks of the season, and allowing Mino to travel in that midfield, which we needed. So that gap was needed. So that gap was needed, and it was I said that gap. He covered that gap beautifully and was pretty well. So all that stuff was amazing to see, and we set up to counter them with Rashford and Garnacho on the wings, which was smart. We sat back, we parked the bus, and we said, "You guys can keep coming at us. It won't happen. We won't let you guys through. We have that pace on the wings." And that's what led to the first goal. It may have been a mistake, but you gotta
make your luck. You gotta make your own luck. And Dalot has been impressive all season. Right back, left back, he's been always fit as well. And that ball was the reason why Guardiola was confused. Like, it was a beautiful ball from him, and Garnacho stepped up and did what he had to do. To buttress your point, Ten Hag had his tactics on point today. It was brilliant. I think it's too little, too late, but he's a solid manager. He's a solid coach. He does what he does, but I feel like it's a relationship that's not working anymore for anybody. I think that United need to move on. He needs to move on as well. I know that the 90 minutes is going to get a lot of people like blurred and like really fall in love. It happens. It is what it is.
I'm one of those people. When I saw him holding the trophy, I'm like, damn, should we give him another chance? But hey, I came to my senses. We can't.
I mean, and this is no offense to him. I look at it like talented players, right? Like you look like a Jude Bellingham, a Desiree Doué. Like there's certain players that you can see like there's so much potential in those kids early, and you just want to just build into like you want to buy into the hype. And same thing with Kieran McKenna. Kieran McKenna is a Manchester United fan first and foremost. Okay, he grew up as a United fan, and his brother is a Liverpool fan, right? So he grew up in a house where like he's a United
clashing heads, yeah.
Yeah, he's a United. He coached United's U18 team. He coached United's first team. Literally did training for them. So he has the experience. So I think someone like Kieran McKenna, you have to buy into it. Like buy the stock early. Buy into it and like build around him. It's like a Mikel Arteta type of thing where like everyone was kind of, whoa, what's his experience? Well, 89 points in the season. I don't care
Yeah.
what anyone says. Arsenal had an amazing season. You get a young coach and you put around that. Look at Bayer Leverkusen. They one trophy short away from winning the treble, but currently winning. But you buy into these younger coaches, and that's what you're doing, and I feel, for Eric Ten Hag, I think that he was hamstrung, but a lot of it was his own decision making too that kind of messed up a lot of things. But again, the taxes were brilliant. The second goal, unfortunately, Rashford didn't score, which I love that goal. Unfortunately, that goal was offside.
Yeah.
But the goal that Mainu scored, it was beautiful. Like what you were saying about the he talked to you about that goal, because I know the commentator said something about that.
Yep. First of all, like you said, I'm as Rashford's number one fan. I'm gonna give him credit. That switcher play was beautiful, and then also Garnacho this game, chef's kiss. He held that ball well, found Bruno. Bruno played that beautiful, Bruno. That was a beautiful pass, and Minos finishing. But the commentator said United have scored a City goal, which I completely agree with. That goal was the type of goal City scores on opponents all the time. Teams will sit back, so you got to move the ball side to side fast. That switch and then the runs, even Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the run he made into the box, pulled a defender away, gave no space. We scored a City goal, and it was beautiful. And that's another thing I want to give Amrabat credit for. Him being able to play as a true six lets Mino be able to be his true position in that midfield. Mino is a player who can play six, but his talents are wasted there. That man is an 8. That man's an 8 who you just need to let roam around that midfield, let him control, let him pick up the ball, let him play those tidy passes, which is what he's been doing beautifully recently. And he's been able to score key goals and help the team. But that second goal, oh my God, I loved it. As soon as that second goal went in, because I was watching my younger brother, we both just jumped up. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
That's
a beautiful
proper football.
My nephew became a Man United fan today.
Hey.
My brother texted me and said, he was just like, "Yo, your nephew said we scored the second goal," and he's like, "Who's we?" He goes, "The red team. That's my team." I was like, "Yes,
you're doing something right."
The kids are all right. The kids are all right. But no, I mean that second goal was beautiful, bro. It was amazing. Rashford switch over to Garnacho. I sometimes am very hard on Bruno. I can say that much. Like I'm extremely hard on Bruno, but Bruno was magnificent today. Bruno showed today that you know what? Yeah, you have your own, CTE issues. I mean, he tried to score against Ortega in the second half. I was like, Bruno, what are you doing? I was like, Bruno, but you got to take the bad with the good with Bruno.
Yeah.
Like I think for me, Bruno was amazing. The players loved him to buy into him. The players overall today were great. There wasn't a single United player I could call out and say was bad. Like towards the end, while Aaron Wan-Bissaka was getting tried by Doku, but he was good. Dalot's been amazing all season. Was great today. Varane, I mean, he's been a baller since Lens, and he's one of the greatest center backs to ever play football.
Ever play the game, ever. And I want to give credit to that partnership because what you saying, Varane, made me think of Licha, and we are a completely different team with Licha playing.
Yes.
Like I'm one of those players where I'm one of those people that when I watch, I notice like the tiniest things. It's just me. Like I'm not even like it's just me. There was this one thing where like he was he turned it he got the ball, turned back, pretended he was gonna pass to Onana, waited for the press, spun away from um Holland, just took out two other City players, played a ball to the left side. Just little stuff like that. We don't have any other center back that can do that in our team. And also his defending. What I think it was in the first half. I don't know, but he had Holland in hell. He had that man in a master lock. If you know WWE, he had that man fighting for his life. It was beautiful, beautiful thing.
Said Haaland was in hell. Let me give you some first half stats. Erling Haaland in the first 45 minutes of the FA Cup, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots on target, 0 shots off target, 0 dribbles, 0 key pass, 0 crosses, 0 long balls, 12 touches. They had that man in hell. He was pocketed by a man. He was pocketed by a man who's 5'2". And that's tough.
Hey, Short King Summer, man. Short King Summer. I don't personally relate, but Short King Summer.
Physically, literally cannot relate to being a short man. But hey, if that's your thing, man, go for it. Short man need love too, and we show a lot of love to Licha. But yeah, Scott McTominay was a warrior, industrious as always. He's not the sexiest of players, but he busts a lung for you. He does a shift. Scott was great. Amrabat, Casablanca, Vin Diesel did well today. Marcus is Marcus. Did his thing. Garnacho was great. Bruno was great. Onana showed out. I mean, obviously, she could have saved that second goal. He could have saved that goal, but Onana had so many saves. Man, he was brilliant today. And what he has done that a lot of people haven't noticed is going to be very nerdy. He switched boots. He doesn't wear Adidas anymore. He wears Nikes. He was
really?
He was Tiempos now. Yeah.
Oh, so he did the reverse of what De Gea did, because De Gea switched from Nike to Adidas.
Mm-hmm. And he
that
did the
waywardness.
Yeah. Casemiro went from Nike to Adidas as well.
Yeah.
So
And notice when he went to Adidas, he started doing his falafel impression. I won't say anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, let's talk about City a little bit. I mean, City weren't too good today. I think this was one of the worst City like performance I've seen in a while. They were stifled by United for sure, but City looked like they had lacked energy. Their players looked like they didn't want to be there. KDB got hooked off, which that was rough to see. Doku was their best player by far.
Outside of Doku, it's hard for me to say I can think of a player that I'm like, this player played like exceptionally well or like made a difference. Cause even Kyle Walker, I thought Kyle Walker started off the game well, but he was at fault. He was partially at fault for that second goal.
Mm-hmm.
Rodri just wasn't Rodrian. He wasn't doing what he was normally doing. Foden's gonna walk away from the game with an assist to the pass to Doku, but he didn't do much. He just wasn't threatening.
Yeah.
Haaland, like the stats you just read, Haaland didn't do damn all. Bernardo Silva.
Haaland did have a shot against the crossbar, and I was just like, oh, oof.
That shot definitely had my heart drop. But outside of that, Bernardo Silva, normally like a tidy player, normally fun to watch, create something, didn't do anything. Ake got hooked at halftime. Kovacic too. The players, they just didn't, and I don't know what it was. I know the commentator said they had a couple days off because they won the league, so they didn't go back to training till like Thursday or Friday. I don't know if it was fatigue, rust, or what it was.
What it is?
What?
Skill issue.
Hey, listen, I'm about to say, I'm not complaining. We walked away with a trophy and we beat our rivals. You won't hear me complaining.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But like you said, yeah, they did look rusty, and KDB getting hooked. I was like, oh, this is not gonna. Like, I'm not one of those guys that likes to dunk on KDB because I try to be objective when I watch football. But brother, these finals performances, man.
I'm gonna give you something funny when you said final. You know how many times Mason Mount has lost at Wembley?
6.
You know what happened today?
Wasn't 7. I will say that.
Change the broke nigga life.
What did the Canadians say? Without us, none of this would be here. Yeah.
Yeah, we built this.
We built this.
Yeah. Sir Johnny Evans. I have to give Sir Johnny Evans the biggest salute.
Literally.
That man came just to train with with his former team, and next thing you know, Johnny Evans is playing. What? How many games did he play this season?
He played 30. He played 30 games.
Johnny Evans played 30 games this season. But I want to talk about Johnny Evans real quick. Johnny Evans completed a lot. He's won 3 Premier League titles at Man United: 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Won the League Cup, the Carabao Cup, 08, 09, 2010, 2010. Won the Community Shield, Champions League, FIFA Club World Cup. And guess what? He finally won United to complete the lot.
FA Cup.
He finally completed the lot. I'm very happy.
He's one of those players whose career will go under the radar because he was never the flashy guy, or he was never like the best center back. But he was always a guy, like you said, came to our academy, did his shift. I remember it was whether it was deputizing for Rio or Vidic when one of their legs were going, whether it was him when he was promoted, and then it was the starter with Chris Smalling when he was holding Phil Jones's hand, bringing him, easing him in, through all that stuff. He's been there and he's been solid. And yet again, this man came in for an AARP check and walking out with an FA Cup trophy. Hey man, salute.
And that's kind of funny. It leads to my next point. And I can't wait to talk about this point. Johnny Evans is North Irish. Kieran McKenna is North Irish. If we get Kieran McKenna should bring Johnny Evans to the team because, bring Johnny home. Let Johnny hang around, let him be an assistant or something, one of the coaches.
I'm about to say, look at what Phil Jones did with our U18s. Yeah, speaking of which, our the women's team won the FA Cup, so congrats
Yes.
to them too.
Yes, big congrats to Man United's women's team, man. Like both of our teams won, but especially shout out to the ladies team. They're wonderful. So shout out to them.
And also
So
our youth teams too completed a treble, or the
yeah,
U18.
U18, yeah, the Premier League North, the Premier League League Cup, and the U18 Premier League. So shout out to them, and Phil Jones is working with them. So shout out to Phil Jones for helping out. You know, it's great to see the synergy in his club. Eric Ten Hag. Let's talk about his future. Do you think he stays? Do you think he goes?
I think Ineos has already made up their mind, sort of like
Yeah,
the Van Gaal situation, and I think he's done. Like again, um, I wish it worked out, but he shot himself in the foot. Like,
for sure.
and I will give him some leeway for the injuries, but I'm pretty sure, like you said earlier, he made his own bed, and sometimes the injuries can fall back on the coach. You cannot keep playing players through injuries. You cannot be doing high intensity training in the middle of the season. I wish it worked out, but again, there you can clearly see he did enough in his 2 years here and the last couple weeks of the season where you can see there's a good manager in there. He can do something. So yeah.
I mean, listen, I generally feel like we should bring Kieran McKenna in. That's a very talented young coach who loves the club, who's coach of the club, who knows the team, and I think that get him in. You know, start a new project and a new ownership. You know, I think that's the most important thing. Is like this is a new ownership. This is a new direction forward. And Eric has a year left in his contract, and I think you just start anew. You know, draw a line in the sand and keep it pushing. You know, there's no hard feelings towards Eric. He did a great job today tactically, but it's our worst ever Premier League season, our worst season since 1989, 1990, and I feel like unfortunately, you know, it just didn't work out. It was a bad marriage, and Eric did a great job today, but I'm not the biggest fan of everything, all the shenanigans that we saw throughout the season. It was a very long season, and we wrapped it
Too
with a
long.
bow. We wrapped it with a bow. A lot of people are gonna forget the stuff, but it was a very, very rough season for us as United fans. But yeah, I'm excited, man, to see the future. I think that's the one thing about United is we got a lot of talented players. I mean, look at Kobe Mainoo and Garnacho. 2 years ago, they were in the FA Youth Cup final and won. 2 years later, these boys are scoring in the final at 19 years old. You know, this is impressive to see. These boys literally could be playing, you know, for the U18s if they wanted to. Well, not too old, but you know, these boys could be playing U21 football still. You know,
Yeah.
so they're the stars, you know, today. So shout out to Kobe for playing well. And he's joining Lot Gang. I see him, you know, got his chance. So shout out to him. But yeah, like I said, City didn't play too well, man. But United took advantage of it. United even park a bus. They put a tank in the middle of the field, and it worked. You know, it just is what it was. You know, what can you
You
do?
don't play finals, you win them.
As Jose Mourinho once said. But listen, it was a great win for United. It was a great way to wrap the season up. It's a great way to go into next year. And the best thing is, real hate won, bro. United beating City means that not only do Newcastle not get Europe, they lose down to Ashworth. So that's great. Then on top of that, Chelsea go to the Conference League and they have to be in the playoff for the Europa Conference
I
League. So
saw that.
have fun with that, Chelsea, because
Bro,
we
and
don't.
you know what makes it even funnier?
Tell
A
me,
bunch of the players are going to be going to the Euros and the
Olympics,
Euros, Olympics,
Copa America.
and yeah, South American AFCON. They're gonna be doing that.
Oh, Copa. You said Copa America.
Bro, it's South America AFCON. It's the same giddy mixed with tactics.
Yeah,
So their players are gonna be done and dusted. They're gonna be having Thursday night battles in Kosovo. Have fun. I
they're gonna
can't
be in
relate.
Belarus. Have fun with that. But yeah, man. Listen, it's been a grueling season for United. You know, been one of promise that we thought was gonna do well last year, and it didn't pan out, unfortunately for United. But I'm excited for the future, man. I feel like we've got very, very young talent, bright talents. When Rasmus came on, we saw that he could get physical and like throw
Man,
somebody around. So Rasmus was drunk as hell after the game. He was completely wasted.
I saw that McTominay post.
That boy
Rasmus
was
was
cooked.
not there.
That boy was cooked.
Bro,
He was
there's also a
absolutely
video
cooked.
of Rashford walking through the tunnel, and this man is blasting Gunna and holding a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
Real roadman activities.
You see what Scholes said after the game?
What?
Read a few comparisons between me and this kid last week. Don't waste your time. He's 10 times better player was at 19. At Scholes, I mean, hey.
Listen, and Scholes is hey, listen. The way first of all, as someone who saw Scholes, more like the middle to tail end of his career. Don't worry about how old I am. As someone who saw that and hearing how Scholes contemporaries speak about him, that's That's high praise.
By the way, you gave your age up earlier, but I'm not going to remind you when you said it, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, I mean, Kobe's the one thing I love about Kobe, besides his technical skills, is just his calmness on the ball. Like, yo, he's just, what's the word we're using? You're Farabale.
Yes,
That's what he is.
yeah.
Everything is like, not too much, and it's great, man. But yeah, that picture with Ahmad, Garnacho, Kobe, and Rasmus, my favorite picture today. I went to go watch the game at a bar, right? And one of the things that I loved the most was like every time they flashed to Sir Alex Ferguson, everybody was just clapping loud as
I
hell.
loved it. Listen, when that old man started, what song was he singing? Was he singing he joined in one of the chants, and I just couldn't help but smile. Like that man made my childhood so happy, man.
Do you see Rasmus' caption on the picture though? His caption was hard.
What?
Since Manchester is red, this is the new Wonderwall.
These people dropping bars left and right.
This is what happens when you have so much alcohol in your system.
That man got drunk and hit the studio.
One of the cool things, and if you guys want to look it up, Sergio Aguero he was applauding Kobe Mainoo's goal. So, one of the city's greatest ever complimenting Kobe Mainoo's goal. So we like that right there. Eric Ten Hag was talking crazy towards the end of the game too. Like his post conference, he told Roy Keane can't manage. He told somebody basically like, you don't know football in the press conference. I'm like, damn, this man's going out.
Man, hey, he deserves it. Talk your talk, Baldy. You're gonna be talking somewhere else, but talk your talk.
Yeah, he was talking crazy. He was talking crazy. The first ever Moroccan to play for Man United won the trophy. So shout out to.
I'm about to say, hey, African United.
Onana played his ass off. Well,
I'm about to say Onana, Ahmad. We wouldn't be here without that Ahmad goal against Liverpool.
Literally wouldn't be here.
So hey, Africans, look at us helping the white man yet again.
I will say, man, one of the things I love the most about this is just seeing how much Carrington means. I think a lot of people don't understand what an academy is. Your academy is to supplement your team, but it's also to develop professional players, right? Like if you get a kid from your academy, and if those were on your first team, that's a bonus. But you're really there to develop pros. The fact that Man United has, let me go through the amount of academy players that played today for Man United because I am so impressed.
Let me see if I can name them.
I'm looking, but I'll make sure I'll make sure that if you're correct. Go ahead.
All right. So we had Johnny Evans.
Okay.
McTominay.
Yep.
Mino.
Yep.
Garnacho.
Yep.
Rashford.
Yep.
Ahmad didn't play. Rasmus
Ahmad's not academy.
Okay. Oh yeah. We have okay.
Yeah.
Rasmus.
Kwambala was on the bench too.
Yeah. I knew. Yeah. I love that with Varane leaving and Johnny Evans possibly leaving. I do believe Kwambala should be given a chance.
Yeah, for sure. But it's amazing, man. Like I'm happy that United won. It makes me proud of this team. We've been through it in the last decade plus. Since Sir Alex Ferguson's left, we haven't had too many highs, but the times we do have highs, it shows that there's still this is still a massive club. We need to get it right because we're running out of generations we can lie to about how good we are. There's only we're running out. Like the Elises of the world, they're the last ones.
They barely. People are starting to say Foden and Cole Palmer are better than Rooney. We can't let that happen.
Yeah, no, that's not true. First of all, that's factually and literally incorrect.
It's incorrect.
Second of all, shut the fuck up. Okay, let's go with that. But yeah, man, listen, it was a brilliant bowl to wrap up this season. I am gonna be a lot of transfer talk, a lot of rumors coming up now the season's over, a lot of stuff that has been working on that people are gonna see. I mean, excuse me, I'm very yawning. But you over here got Carrington being rebuilt. You over here got a lot of stuff being done. So a lot of projects are gonna happen in United in the next couple of months, and I'm excited to see the future, man. I think that one of the things that winning does for you, one of the things that having a young talented core is you have hope, and hope springs eternal always. We always need hope. We always need something to hold on to that can keep us propelling, and having the Kobes and the Garnachos and the Ahmads and the Rasmus Højlunds, it keeps us going. It makes us want to just wow, I'm genuinely excited to see what's going to happen in the future. So glory, innit?
Oh, big glory.
You got anything you want to add?
Hey man, like you said earlier, Rashford's not leaving, so get on board or shut up. You feel me? He's staying. You guys read it and weep. But honestly, I'm excited for the things I'm excited for next season. Seeing the young players develop, or seeing like Garnacho has another year under his belt. Kobe completed his full first year. Rasmus is getting used to. He's now used to Premier League, getting a bit more acclimated. Ahmad is getting playing time that he needs, and he's showing you guys the quality. So hopefully we can shut that Anthony nonsense down.
I'm
But
so glad he didn't play today.
I'm ecstatic. That was my favorite part. But outside of that, glory, glory United, and time for all season because everyone needs it. The fans and the players included.
Staff as well. The grass. We all need a break from United. But guess what? We on go again always. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to shout out to Believe Network. Also, want to say this, please, like, subscribe, comment on everything. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. The football doesn't stop, man. We all understand it's the United edition, but there's Euros, there's Copa America. I'm working on some stuff. Arsenal guys are working on some stuff. Tommy's working. We're working, okay?
Yes, sir.
They some workers, we some workaholics, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is your host, Tosin, my boy Tommy. And again, shout out to Man United's women team for winning. Shout out to U18. Shout out to the U14s winning all the trophies. This great time Man United to,
Rooney's son won I think it was the Felons Cup. He won the top score, 8 goals in 6 games.
And that boy scored a goal and started running around
with his left foot too. He's a left foot version of his daddy. What?
Yeah.
Like
and guess who else is on that team?
Michael Carrick's son.
Yeah. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. The future's bright, man. And I hope Ineos gets it right because there's a lot of talent on the market that can definitely propel this club forward. Having Europe is great. So Newcastle, enjoy no football in Europe. Chelsea enjoy Conference League. United in Europa League, not the most fun to be in, but save a little bit of cash. So
it's better than what the others are in. So I'm gonna hate on them.
Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm Tosin, Tomi, the co-host. We're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off.